welcome back to Valor and Virtue. I just want to thank you so much for being here. My name is Erin, and normally my husband Mark is here with me. But this week, this episode is just for the gals. And guys, in case you don't know, our mission here at Valor and Virtue is to help married couples, men and women, pursue a life of moral, physical, and spiritual excellence. So, that being said, last week my husband Mark talked about what it looks like to pursue a life of excellence from a male's perspective. And this week I'm going to talk about something a little bit different, something that's really familiar to me. And I'm not going to take up a lot of your time at all, but I just really wanted to talk to the ladies and men. If you want to listen to this, please absolutely feel free to. This is not like women only, but I'm just going to gear it a little bit more in that direction particularly. But this week I really wanted to talk kind of upon the subject of self-care. Because it's something that at one point in our marriage and just at points in my life, I've struggled with and I've had a hard time with before. So I really wanted to take the time to dive a little bit into self-care, especially as a wife and a mother. So like I said, men, you can listen if you want to, but this is going to be geared more towards my ladies. I just kind of wanted to talk about what that looks like. And really, what it means and how it can affect you in all areas of life, right? Like morally, physically, and spiritually, because those things are really important. So, first and foremost, I just want you to take a minute to really kind of think about what self-care means to you, because I think it means something different to everybody. And I think at different times in our lives, self-care can mean different things, right? Like if you have a newborn, self-care might be taking a shower. That sounds really silly, but we all know that it's true, right? Like if you have kids and you have that newborn and you're a mom and your husband is like, hey, just go take a shower. You're like, oh, you feel like a brand new woman, like a brand new person. And so I just want you to think about what the term self-care means to you. And I think for me, self-care it's kind of a lot of things. It's taking care of myself mentally, spiritually, and physically. Those three things for me encapsulate a total of what self-care looks like. And I noticed, especially as a woman, I think sometimes we feel like we have extra pressure to almost do a little bit more self-care than men. I know, a lot of times we think that as women we have to always get done up, always have our hair done, always have our makeup on. We have to be looking better than this woman, or we're trying to compete with this woman over here. And it's just this long list of like competitiveness that's wildly frustrating, that I found was wildly frustrating as a woman, and as a wife and a mother to deal with. And I think what happened was, and what I want to share with you, is that I put unrealistic expectations on myself that wasn't true to who I was. And what I found is I would go from one extreme to the other. So what I mean by that is I would be over here and I would be on this extreme of every single day I would get up, I would do my hair, I would do my makeup, and I would try and put on the cutest outfit I could find, right? Because I wanted to be done up. I got, dressed to the nines, as they say, every single day of my life. But then sometimes I'd find that really exhausting and frustrating, and I would almost become resentful to the whole idea of it. Then when that happened, when I would become resentful, I'd come all the way on this side of the spectrum, and I'd be over here, and I wouldn't put a lick of makeup on. When my hair was long, I would put it up in a bun or a ponytail, and I would just wear like sweats all day, like just kind of baggy sweatpants and like a t-shirt. Because I'd be like, I don't want to get done. That's exhausting. I don't have time for it. My husband should love me regardless. I didn't sleep with the kids, and they're pulling on me, and they're spitting on me, and blah, blah, blah. And I would kind of define that as like self-care, was how I looked. And what I found is that was extremely unhealthy, and there was no self-care in that. And so what I kind of want to go over is just some things that I found to help me with some self-care day in, day out. And the first thing kind of in regards to that was finding myself and what made me a better person and what was true to me. So like I've always been a tomboy. I have a brother, he's 6 years older than me. I've always been a tomboy. That's always been me. And I I do love getting dressed up. Like, if there's a fancy event, or like in high school when we had prom and homecoming, like I love getting dressed up. So don't get me wrong there. But what I found to be difficult is that I wanted to look really good for my husband, especially when I was married, but I also wanted to stay true to who I was. So what I found helped with self-care is, number one, doing something daily that makes you feel like pretty, that makes you feel like you look good. And so I found for me that what works daily is getting up, doing my hair to some degree, putting on a little bit of makeup, always mascara. I'm like a mascara girl through and through. I don't have anything else on today, but I have mascara on. And then putting on clothes that I liked the way they looked on me. Didn't matter what kind of clothes. It could be jeans and a t-shirt. It could be, like right now I have on leggings. Oh, and Crocs. Whoa, my husband thinks those are so attractive. No, he doesn't. They're my inside shoes. He doesn't hate them, but he doesn't think they're attractive. So like I have on some leggings and I have a tank top that I like the way I look in. Like for me, it's not baggy around my midsection. I personally like my arms. That's why I have a tattoo. So I was finding something that made me feel good and look good every day. So finding that balance, not going over here of what Susie was doing and being like, I have to look like Susie, and that's taking care of myself, and my husband will like it, and my friends will like it, or whatever. But then not being like Jenny over here. Sorry if your name is Susie and Jenny. This is nothing against you. I just thought of random names. But not being like Jenny over here, where I'm not doing anything. Because especially if you're married, that's going to hurt your marriage. And then when your marriage starts hurting, that's going to hurt a whole lot of other things. It's just a whole other subject that we'll talk about later. So step one is waking up every day and getting ready in a manner that makes you feel good and feel pretty. You like what you see in the mirror. If that is getting dressed up to the nines every day, if that's your personality, that's great. I love that. If it's not putting anything on at all and you really think and feel that you look beautiful, that's great. Okay? For me, it's a healthy medium. And I think for most women, it's a healthy medium. Honestly, I haven't really met anybody that loves not doing anything every day. I'm not saying you can't have days like that. I had a day like that yesterday. I didn't put a lick of makeup on, and I put my hair up, and I just went with it. However, I put on an outfit that I like. So it's finding that medium. And guys, I'm going to say this. If you're married, you do need to look good for your husband. I'm not saying the only reason to get ready or to get dressed is for your husband. You need to want it for yourself, but it matters. Men are visual. They care what they're looking at, and they care about what they see. Like, Mark and I went through this because I was like, you should just love me. You're my husband no matter what. And he's like, yeah, but like, I'm really attracted to you when you look like this. And I was like, well, I don't want to do this every day. And it kind of came down to like what made me confident as a woman. And he thinks that's the most attractive thing in the world. So when I found who I was and my balance for me, that is when I felt better about myself. I felt attractive. I walked around with confidence. I wasn't trying to be what I thought he wanted. I wasn't trying to be what I thought the world wanted. I wasn't trying to be any of that. I just dug deep and found what I wanted to be, and that was wildly attracted to my husband. So whether you're single or married or engaged or dating or somewhere in between, you need to find what makes you feel beautiful and worthwhile. So that's my first tip, is to get ready. That was a really long tip. To get ready when it comes to self-care in a manner that makes you feel beautiful and confident and like worthy as a woman. So that's like my first step of self-care. I shouldn't say my first step. It's one of the steps of self-care. The second one is taking care of myself mentally. And that comes in for me because I have 2 kids. I get up between 5 and 6 every morning. And I go downstairs because I'm alone. I don't have my husband. I don't have my kids. And I read my Bible. I pray. And then I read a book that's a non-fiction book. I'm not saying it has to be a self-help book. I'm not saying it has to be like a how-to book, but it's non-fiction, and I read 10 pages every morning, every day. So I read a good bit of my Bible, I have my prayer, and then after that I read 10 pages of a non-fiction book. And guys, this, I cannot even begin to tell you what this does for me mentally throughout the day, because I start my day, and like always in my daily prayer, I ask for God to just give me my daily bread. And in essence, what I'm saying is just give me enough for today. I don't need bread for tomorrow, bread for a week, bread for a month. I just need bread for today. And typically, my bread looks like patience for my children, love for everyone in my family, and joy throughout the day. So I ask him to give me my daily bread, whatever specifics I feel I need for that day. And then reading that nonfiction book, it allows me to learn so much. Whether it is a self-help or it isn't self-help, maybe it's history-based or events that happen, I don't know. But it helps me learn, and by being educated, I feel like a new person. I feel like I'm doing something for myself. I'm purposely taking time to spend time with God and build a relationship with Him there alone. And then I'm purposely spending time to read something that pours into me where I'm bettering myself as a person. There's nothing wrong with fiction books. I love me some Harry Potter. Don't get me started. But there is power in reading nonfiction books and getting that into your mind and your brain, as long as they're good and wholesome and healthy. So mentally, that's one of the things I do for self-care. So I highly encourage you to do that. But what I want you to start thinking is, if you don't have something in place there, is what can you do to bring you some mental peace, some mental strength, and some mental education where you're bettering yourself as a woman every single day. Because you matter and you're important, and that is part of your self-worth and your value as a woman. So, take time to find who you are in your style, essentially, I guess is the first tip I was talking about. And then take time to choose to do things to build you up mentally and spend some alone time taking care of your mental health. That could be meditating, that could be reading, that could be just sitting alone in a closet. I've sat alone in my pantry more times than I can tell you. But try to make it a daily routine, just like the first one. And then, guys, so I kind of have spiritually, a little bit of physically, a little bit of morally, all around together and all that, and mentally. And then the last thing I want to touch on, because it is my passion and it is something I care about so much, is that for myself and finding some self-worth and self-value, I work out. I take care of my body. For me, I think God gave me my body. My body is a gift from God. The abilities that I have to walk and talk and move are a blessing from Him. And so I'm personally going to take care of that blessing that He gave me, because it's a gift. And, we don't get a gift, and if we like it, if we love our gift, we don't get it and throw it on a shelf, or we don't drop it or scratch it or break it. Right? We take care of it, we cherish it, we value it, we polish it, or we put it up somewhere nicely, or we use it, right? We use it. If we love a gift we get, we use it. If you love the food processor your mom got you for Christmas, you're using that food processor often. It's not just sitting up on the shelf. You love it, so you're using it. So for me, I feel like God gave me my body as a gift, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to take care of it. It is my home. It goes everywhere with me. It's how I play with my children. It's how I hang out with my husband. It's how I do life. So I work out to take care of my body. And guys, I think all of these things are part of building moral, spiritual, and physical excellence, as well as finding self-worth as a woman. And my worth, first and foremost, comes from God. That's number one. I have to know who I am in Him before I can know anything else. You have to know whose you are before you know who you are. And secondly, for me, we do find worth and value in the things that we do and in how we feel and how we look. And so part of having self-worth for me is knowing that I'm worthy enough to look good and feel good. Everyone is. You are just as much as I am. And, I want to encourage you to take care of your body, to love your body, to do something for it, because it's a gift. And if you're a mama, it is a gift. You were able to bring children into this world in whatever way, shape, and form, and whatever they did to you in that process, it's still a gift. And what I found with working and coaching people for over 10 years, because that was my career, is that when people take care of themselves, they find more self-worth because they're confident and they can hold their head up higher, and they say, I'm taking care of myself so I can take care of other people. And I have self-worth. Even if you don't believe it at first and you start working out, you're going to start to believe that you're worthy of it. You're worthy of taking care of yourself, right? We're not working out for anybody else. I don't work out for other people. I work out for myself so that I can be the best version of myself possible, so that I can be the mother I want to be to take care of my children, so I can be the wife I want to be for my husband. And guys, I think I'm trying not to be scatterbrained. Sorry. My husband was like, you should take notes. And I was like, I'm not taking notes. Probably should have taken notes. But I think it's so important that if you're struggling with self-worth or finding like, where do I find like moral, spiritual, and physical excellence? It starts with taking care of yourself. Taking care of how you look on the outside, whatever that means to you, whatever you like, whatever brings you joy. If you like your hair, half up, half down, wear it that way. If you like it black, great. If you like it blonde, great. But take care of yourself. Put on something that makes you feel good. If that's makeup, great. If it's a really nice pair of clothes, great. Take care of yourself on the outside. Then take care of yourself on the inside. In the sense of, if you're Christian, spend time praying and reading the Bible. Spend time building that relationship with God. And if you are or aren't, spend time educating yourself. And guys, reading a nonfiction book is one of the easiest ways I found to bring some education and some value into my life. And then lastly, take care of the gift that's been given to you, which is your body. I'm not saying you have to be ripped. I'm not saying you have to look amazing. I mean, I want you to. If that's what you want, I want you to. But you don't have to look like the cover of a magazine to be healthy and fit and taking care of yourself, right? Like, all you have to do is eat better foods. Go on a 45-minute walk every day. Drink water. Like, just take care of yourself. Take care of your body. Because you're going to start to find self-worth in all of that. And women, let me tell you, when you begin to value yourself and take care of yourself, especially as a wife and a mother, your cup will be full, and so then you can pour your cup out. Right? Like, as women, and particularly I'm speaking to moms right now, we get drained. Our cup is so empty. And everyone needs something from us. And everyone's always pulling on us and grabbing us and like, I need this, I need that, mom. And your husband's like, did you do this? What about these bills? What about da-da-da-da? And you're like, oh. And you feel like you don't have time for yourself. And you feel like if you take any time for yourself, you're being selfish. Let me tell you right now, if you don't take time for yourself, that's selfish. Because you're then not able to give the best of yourself to the people around you. And that's being selfish. It's saying, I'm not going to do something to be the best me possible. I'm going to put my foot down, and then I'm not able to give the best of myself to you. If you want to be selfless in all reality, take care of you. Because you're the glue that holds most things together. And you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of how you feel you look. You have to take care of your mind and the things that you're learning and processing and everything that goes on in there. And you have to take care of your body. And when you take the time to do these things, when you make the time, you have to make the time. You don't just find time for anything. You make it. When you make the time to do these things, you are going to begin to find self-worth and self-value. And your cup is going to be full, and you're going to be able to pour out your cup 10 times more than you would if you put all of that aside and just served selflessly. I promise, because I've been there. I don't have time to work out, and I don't have time to get done and get ready, and I don't have time to read a book, I don't have time to pray, I don't have time to read the Bible. I'm doing A, B, C, D, F, G, I'm working, I have 2 kids, I have a husband, I have all these things. We all have all those things. But you have to take time to take care of yourself, to believe that you're worthy enough, that you have enough self-value, that you have enough self-worth, because you do, I'm telling you you do, to take care of yourself. And that's what I want you to walk away with. If nothing else, I want you to decide this next week to do a small step in each one of those areas. You don't have to jump all in all crazy and be like, I'm going to do exactly what she does. No. Maybe this week you put clothes on that make you feel pretty all week. And maybe this week you read a Bible verse every single day. Or you pray every single day. Or if you don't want any of that, maybe it's that you read a a motivational quote every day, or you say an affirmation to yourself every day. And then on this end, maybe it's just going for a walk or being like, I'm not going to have soda anymore. I'm not going to have any soda. I'm just going to drink water this week. You don't have to jump all in. You can. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to go overboard and jump all in to build up to failure. You can start small, but ladies, we've got to start taking care of ourselves. Being a wife and a mother and being selfless does not mean losing your self-value and losing your self-worth to pour into everyone else around you. That's not what it means, and that's not how God created us to be. So, I hope that encourages you a little bit. Hope that makes sense. Like I said, I didn't want to keep this long. But in closing, I did want to throw this out here because it is my job and I am here for you guys. But starting a week from today, April 4th, 2022, so if you ever go back and watch this, don't be like, oh, I missed it. But I am running an 8-week challenge. And I work with First Form, which is an amazing company that I love to death. And they do an 8-week challenge 4 times a year, winter, spring, summer, fall. And so starting on Monday is the 8-week spring challenge. And guys, all this entails is that you would get me as your coach. You would get me to walk you through nutrition, workouts, sleep, be your accountability buddy, like literally walk with you through every facet and area of health and fitness so that you can get real long-term results. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. So you can get real long-term lasting results. That you can look and feel mentally and physically how you want to. Like it's 100% for you. So I really want to encourage you that if that sounds interesting to you at all, to click the link in the description, download that app, and send me a message, and we can get started right away. It's 8 weeks long. There's chances to win prizes, which is always really cool. If you don't want to do the challenge, you can still download the app and have me as your coach. But guys, this is my job. I care so much about it because I know it changes people's lives because it's changed my life. And I think, personally, I believe it is biblical to take care of yourself in all those areas. I think there's plenty of things, plenty of evidence to prove such. Like God gave us these amazing bodies and minds. We need to take care of them. And especially as women and mothers, we need to take care of them so that we can pour out to those around us because we get spread thin a lot. Men, I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying you don't. But I know as women that we do. So, if this is something you're interested in, you can leave a comment if you have a question. That's totally fine too. But I wanted to share it with you because I'm here. I am here as a coach. I love my job. I love what I do. I love helping people change their lives and finding that self-worth again. So, if you and your husband want to sign up and do it, that would be so much fun. Mark does it with me every time. We're currently, today is day 1 of 75 hard, so wish us luck on that. But we are constantly trying to better ourselves. So women, I want to encourage you that I'm here to relate with you. I'm here to hold you accountable if you want to be a part of this. Or if you just want coaching in general, you don't want part of the 8-week challenge, you can do that as well. And same for the men. If there's a man that ends up watching this, you're more than welcome to join. I coach lots and lots of guys. I love them all to death. They're amazing. But if you and your husband are watching this, because I know typically it seems like this has been more of a married couples thing, like sign up together. Do this together. Be better together. Guys, this is what it's all about. Okay? But I just wanted to share that. You can read about more in the description, and the link in the description. But, guys, girls, anyone who's watching this, take time to take care of yourself. Love how you look on the outside. I'm not saying that's number 1. That's just the order that I went. This is why I should have taken notes. I'm not putting these in any specific order. But love how you look on the outside. Take care of yourself up here because it matters. You guys know if you go back and watch the struggle that I've been through. And take care of yourself physically. Mentally, spiritually, and physically, guys. They're all wrapped in together. They're all intertwined. It's really hard to have one without the other. So, I love you. I've been talking for too long. I hope you guys have a good one. We hope to see you next week. Please, please, please have a good day, night, evening, weekend, month, whatever, whenever you guys are watching this. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.